A very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. So, in the last session, we started with service costing, wherein we discussed what is service costing. Thereafter, we started with transportation industry, wherein we discussed the difference between absolute and commercial. That is, absolute uses the weighted average approach, and the commercial uses the simple average approach. Thereafter, we discussed few questions on transportation industry. So let's proceed further with few more questions on transportation industry. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided. Similar questions are not there in the study material. Very good morning, everyone. Shweta Maruti, I think you were absent. After you were not there in the class after half an hour or 45 minutes yesterday. Good morning, Vaibhav. Good morning, Divya. Good morning, Avinash. Great. So let's proceed further. Till now, we have discussed example number 1, example number 2, example number 3, and example number 4. So now let's start with example number 5. Good morning, Vijay. Good morning, Mr. Mahindra. So let's start with example number 5. Mr. Amit Gupta has started a transport business with a fleet of 10 taxis. The various expenses incurred by him are given below. That is, the cost of each taxi is 75,000. The salary to staff is 1,500 per month. Salary of garage supervisor is 2,000 per month. The rent of garage is 1,000 per month. The driver salary per taxi is 400 per month. Road tax and repairs per taxi is 2,160. Insurance premium is at the rate of 4% of the cost. The life of taxi is 3 lakh kilometers, and at the end, which it is estimated to be sold at rupees 15,000. A taxi runs on an average 4,000 kilometers per month, of which 20% it runs empty. Petrol consumption is 9 kilometer per liter of petrol, costing rupees 6.3 per liter. Oil and other sundry expenses amounting to rupees per 100 kilometer. Calculate the effective cost of kilometer. It is given that if the higher charge is 1 rupees 80 paisa per kilometer, find out the profit that Mr. Amit may expect to make in the find out the profit that Mr. Amit may expect to make in the first year of operation. So let's start with example number 5. Very good, Shweta. That's okay, no worries. Good morning, Gomti. So let's start with example number 5. Uh, Manish sir, hello, Manish sir. There is lag in some. I think there is a video lag. Uh, Students, just give me a few minutes time. Sir, keep the session on hold for a minute. Welcome back, guys. There were some connectivity issues from our end. So hopefully now the video is smooth. So let's start, guys. So now we have to prepare the statement of cost first. So let's start. Now the cost of taxi is given. Further, the scrap value at the end of its life is given, that is 15,000. Now, generally we do calculate depreciation. Generally, we do calculate depreciation using divided by the number of years. However, the life is not given in number of years, but it is given in number of kilometers. So we can calculate the depreciation accordingly. So herein, when talking about the calculation of depreciation, my cost of taxi is 75,000 minus 15,000 is the scrap value. 75,000 is my cost, 15,000 is my scrap value. The total life of the taxi is 3 lakh kilometers. And it is given that on an average, the taxi runs for 4,000 kilometers in a month. On an average, the taxi runs for 4,000 kilometers in a month. And further, there are 10 taxis. So my depreciation amount will be 8,000 for 10 taxis. Please recheck your answer, Shweta. It's depreciation for 10 taxis. It is 8,000. That is 75,000 is the cost of each taxi, divide minus 15,000 is the scrap value, divided by, herein the useful life is given in kilometers. So divided by 3 lakh kilometers, and further 800 is the depreciation for a month. So for 10 taxis, it will be 8,000. Further, the salary to office staff is 1,500 per month. We are preparing a monthly cost sheet only. It is 1,500 per month. Salary to garage supervisor, it is 2,000 per month. Rent of garage is 1,000 per month. Driver salary per taxi is 400 per month. And since there are total 10 taxis, so 10 drivers will be required. So this will be 4,000. Road tax and repair per taxi is 2,160. Now here in the road tax and repairs are given. So see, generally repairs form part of maintenance cost, but here in road tax and repairs are given. I mean the combined figure is given. So better we will keep it as fixed cost only. 2160 is per annum. So divided by 12 months into 10 taxis. So this will be 1800. Insurance premium is at the rate of 4% of the cost. So the cost is 75,000 into 4% into 1 by 12 into 10 taxis. 75,000 into 4% divided by 12 months into 10 taxis. So this will be 2,500. That's okay, Shweta. We can prepare it in a monthly, we can prepare a monthly cost sheet and then we can convert, we will calculate the profit on yearly basis. Don't worry. Now, this is all what about fixed cost because the life of taxi is given, the petrol consumption is given, oil and sundries are given. So this is all what about standing cost. Now we'll start with the next part, that is the running cost. So it is given that petrol consumption is 9 kilometer per liter of petrol costing rupees 6 rupees 30 paisa per liter. Petrol. Now see, on an average, a taxi runs for 4,000 kilometers. And it is given in the question that petrol consumption is 9 kilometer per liter of petrol into the rate of petrol is 6.3 into 10 taxis. So the taxi runs for on and average 9 kilometer per liter of petrol. So 4,000 is the total kilometers divided by 9 into the rate of petrol is 6.3 into 10. The next is oil and other sundry expenses amounting to rupees 10 per 100 kilometers. Into 10 taxis. So 4,000 for every 100 kilometers, it is 10. So for total 10 taxis, it will be 4,000. So this is all what about cost. Very good, Shweta. Very good, Anmol. So 8,000, 1,500, 2,000, 1,000, 4,000, 1800 and 2500. So this will be 20,800. Total cost will be 52,800. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Shweta. If you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your queries. So now, herein we are required to calculate the effective cost of running a taxi per kilometer. Now, herein my total cost is 52,800. Now, herein it is given in the question that the taxi runs on an average 4,000 kilometers in a month. However, 20% it runs empty. So out of 4,000 kilometers, 32 for 3,200 kilometers, we are getting some fare, and 800 kilometers on an average, it is running empty. It means this 800 kilometer in language of process costing, we can say it is normal loss. So the loss of these 800 kilometers will be absorbed by remaining 3,200 kilometers. So that is 4,000 into 80% into 10 taxis. 4,000 into 80% into 10 taxis. So this will be 32,000. So effective cost per kilometer will be effective cost per kilometer will be 1.65. So guys, this point is the key. Herein, even though the taxi is running for 4,000 kilometers, however, for 800 kilometers, it runs empty. So this loss of 800 kilometers will be borne by remaining 3,200 kilometers. So we can say the effective cost per kilometer is 1.65. When talking about the calculation of profit, we can easily calculate, that is my revenue is, we are recovering approx 1 rupees 80 paisa per kilometer for 3,200 kilometers every taxi every month into 10 taxis into 12 months. 1 rupees 80 paisa we are recovering for 3,200 kilometers. So since there are 10 taxis, so it multiplied by 10, and since we have to calculate the yearly profit, so this will be multiplied by 12. The cost is 52,800 per month into 12. So this is 6,33,600. So profit yearly. 57,600. If you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your query. It's up to you, Anmol. It's up to you. You can prepare a monthly statement also or yearly statement. Since the question is silent, herein I have prepared the monthly statement. Shweta, the total profit for the year is 57,600 only. Sushil Kumar, this is what we call as the effective cost per kilometer. That is, if you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. I request you guys to please copy the solution. That's okay, Shweta. No worries. Yes, any doubts? Anyone? Tanishka, Sakshi, Prashant, Divya, Sai Divya, Mahendra, Avinash, Vaibhav, Mr. Buddy, Kadambari, Ajay Chauhan. Anyone having any doubts? Mamta Yadav, good morning, dear. Any doubts, Mamta? I request you guys to please copy. So now let's proceed further with the next question. Example number 6. I'm discussing example number 6 of my material. So Mr. PS owns a bus which runs according to the following schedule. First, Delhi to Hisar and back the same day. The distance covered is 160 kilometers one way, and number of days run each month is given, that is 9, and the seating capacity occupied is 90%. Similar details are given for Delhi to Aligarh, Delhi to Alwar. Now, following are the other details given, wherein the cost of the bus is 15 lakh. The salary of the driver is 30,000 per month. The salary of the conductor is 26,000 per month. The salary of the part-time accountant is 7,000 per month. The insurance of the bus is 6,000 per annum. Diesel consumption is 5 kilometer per liter at the rate rupees 90 per liter. Road tax is 21,912. Lubricating oil, permit fees, repairs and maintenance, depreciation of the bus is given. The seating capacity of the bus is 50 passengers. Further, it is given that the passenger tax is 20% of the total takings. Calculate the bus fare to be charged from each passengers to earn a profit of 30% on total takings. Further, the fare to be indicated per passenger for the journey from Delhi to Hisar, Delhi to Aligarh and Delhi to Alwar. It will be the same, Avinash. Simply you have to multiply it by 12, all the figures, no change. I think there is some calculation mistake, Avinash. So let's start with this sum, that is example number 6. One second, guys. So now let's start with the cost of buses given, that is of buses given, that is 30% per annum. Fifteen lakh, 30% per annum into 1 by 12. We'll be preparing the monthly cost statement. Next is driver salary, 30,000 per month. The conductor salary is 26,000 per month. Salary of part-time accountant is 7,000 per month. Insurance details are given wherein the insurance of the bus is 6,000 per annum. So 6,000 into 1 by 12. So this will be rupees 500. Diesel will be taking this part separately because it's a running cost. Road tax is 21,912 per annum. This will be 1826. Lubricating oil will be taking separately in the running cost. The permit fees is 500 per month. Repairs and maintenance will form part of maintenance cost. So this is all what about fixed cost. Now next is the running cost or running charges. Now for calculating the diesel cost and lubricating oil cost, we need to first calculate the kilometers. So herein information is given in the question, that is Delhi to Hisar, Delhi to Aligarh and Delhi to Alwar. When talking about Delhi to Hisar, the one-way distance is 160 kilometers. So for round trip, it will be 320 kilometers. Into the number of days it runs each month is 9. Now, friend, the next is Delhi to Aligarh. Again, the one-way distance is 160 kilometers. Into 12 days in a month. Next is Delhi to Alwar, 170 kilometers. So for round trip, it will be multiplied by 2. Into number of days it runs each month is 6. So 160 into 2 into 9. This is 2880. This is 3840. This is 2040. So 8760. Now, since we have got the kilometers, we can easily calculate the petrol cost. So herein it is given in the question that the diesel consumption is 5 kilometer per liter and the rate is given that is 90 per liter. The total distance traveled is 8760 and gives this bus gives an average of 5 kilometers and the rate of the diesel is 90 per liter. So 8760 is the distance traveled and on an average the bus runs for 5 kilometer per liter. So the diesel to be purchased is 1752 into 90. So this will be 157680. I repeat again, 8760 is the distance traveled. On an average, the bus runs for 5 kilometer per liter of diesel. So the diesel to be purchased is 1752 into the rate is 90. So this is how I got the total amount. Now next is lubricating oil, lubricant oil, that is rupees 30 per 100 kilometer. For every 100 kilometers, rupees 30. So this will be 2. Now next is maintenance charges. Herein in the question it is given that the repairs and maintenance amounts to rupees 5,000 per month. So we have got the total cost that is 268634. Now herein it is given that the passenger tax is 20% of the total tax takings. So we have got the total cost that is 268634. In this, if we add passenger tax and profit, we'll get the total revenue. Again, the similar approach that let's assume revenue to be 100 or total takings, revenue or we can say takings. Let's assume that these revenue is 100%. It means the profit will be how much? Profit will be 30% of the takings. So this profit will be 30% of this 100. The passenger tax will be 20% of this 100. So remaining cost will be how much? 50%. The cost will be what? 50% of the total take. So this cost 268634. This cost 268634 is 50% of the total taking. So how much will be 100%? Very good, Bhaskar. Very good, Shweta. I'll be multiplying seating capacity. Don't worry, Anmol. See, the seating capacity is used to calculate the passenger kilometer, not the total distance traveled. I request you to please refresh your connection, Rupesh. I think there are no connectivity issues from my end. So now let's start with calculation of passenger kilometer. So 30% is now first Delhi to Hisar and back. So one-way distance is 160 kilometers. One-way distance is 160 kilometers. And here in the seating capacity is given that is 50 persons. So one-way distance is 160 kilometers. And the occupancy is given that is 90%. So 50 into 90%. So one way they are carrying 40 passengers. So in return also they'll be carrying 40 into 9 times in a month. Similarly, Delhi to Aligarh and back. The distance traveled is 160 kilometers. With how many passengers? Again, the occupancy is 95%. So 50 into 95%, that is 47.5 on an average. So on return also it will be 160 into 47.5 into 12 times in a month. And in third case, Delhi to Alwar and return. The distance traveled is 170 with on and average 100% occupancy. So 170 into 50, in the return also 170 into 50 multiplied by 6 times in a month. One 129,600. This will be 182,400. This will be 1,02,000. This will be 4,14,000. If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Bhaskar. So let's calculate the fare per passenger kilometer. So this will be 537,268 divided by 4,14,000. So this will be 1.30. So since we have got the fare per passenger kilometer, so we'll calculate the one-way fare, or see, the question is asking this passenger kilometers are monthly passenger kilometers. See, 9 days, 12 days, and 6 days. Now, here the question is asking us for the journey. I mean, the fares are to be indicated per passenger for the journey Delhi to Hisar, Delhi to Aligarh, and Delhi to Alwar. So now let's calculate the one-way fare. So Delhi to Hisar. See, the fare to be charged from every passenger for every kilometer is 1.3. For every passenger, for every kilometer, we have to charge 1.3. So the distance traveled is how much? 160. So from every passenger, will be charging 208 for Delhi to Hisar for one-way journey. Similarly, from Delhi to Aligarh, The distance traveled is only 160 kilometers. So again, this will be 208 rupees. And next is Delhi to Alwar. The distance traveled is 170 kilometers. So this will be 221. Since we have calculated the fare per passenger per kilometer, so if we multiply it by if we multiply 1.3 by kilometers traveled, we'll get the fare per passenger. This is what? One way fare per passenger. Very good, Bhaskar. So if you guys have any doubts or queries in this explanation, you guys can please post your queries. Giving you 5 to 7 minutes time to copy the explanation. So in the meanwhile, those who are thorough with everything can please copy, else who are finding it, if anyone having any doubts or queries, then can please post the queries. So giving you 5 to 7 minutes time. Anyone having any doubts or queries can please post your queries. Any conceptual doubts? Yes, Mamta, any doubts? Anmol, please check. We are running only one bus, so one driver and one conductor is required. Read the question carefully. Anmol, it is given in the question that they are running a bus service and the bus is traveling for 9 days from Delhi to Hisar, for 12 days from Delhi to Aligarh, and for 6 days from Delhi to Alwar and back. So 12 plus 9, that is 21. Almost the bus is running for 27 days in a month. So only one driver and one conductor is required for a bus. So guys, done with this question. Let's take a break. I'll be discussing the next question after the break because it's a very lengthy question. So let's take a break of 15 minutes. Then we'll start with the next question. In the meanwhile, I request you guys to read the question. That is example number 7. I'll be discussing this question. It's a lengthy question. So I'll be discussing this question. So better to take a break and then we'll start with this question. Manish sir, are you there? Welcome back, guys. So let's proceed further with the next question, that is example number 7. VPS is a public school having 25 buses. VPS is a public school having 25 buses, each plying in different direction for the transportation of its school students. In a view of large number of students availing of the bus service, the bus work 2 shifts daily, both in the morning and afternoon. The bus are garaged in the school. The workload of the students has been so arranged that in the morning, the first trip pick up senior students and the second trip flying an hour later pick up the junior students. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip takes the junior students and an hour later, the second trip takes the senior students home. The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers, and the school works for 22 days in a month and remain closed for the vacation in May and June. The bus fee, however, is payable by the students for all the 12 months in a year. The details of the expenses for the year are as under, wherein the driver's salary payable for full 12 months, that is 12,000 per month per driver. Conductor salary also again 8,000 per month per cleaner, per conductor. License fees and taxes, etc. It is 8,400 per bus per annum. Insurance premium is 15,600 per bus per annum. Repairs and maintenance are per bus per annum. Purchase price of the bus is 20 lakh each. Life of the bus is 16 years. Scrap value is 1,60,000. Further, the diesel cost is given, that is 78 rupees 50 paisa per liter. Each bus gives an average of 5 km per liter of diesel. The seating capacity of the bus is 40 students. The school follows the differential transportation fees based on the distance traveled as under. So students picked up and dropped within the range of distance from the school 2 kilometers, 25% of the full, and 15% students are availing such service. Again, the details of the students who are traveling for 4 kilometers and 8 kilometers given. Now, due to pandemic, lockdown imposed on schools and the schools remain closed from April 2020 to December 2020. Drivers and conductors were paid 75% of their salary during the lockdown period. Repairing cost reduced to 75% for the year 2020. Required, prepare a statement showing expenses of operating a single bus and a fleet of 25 buses for a year. So we have to prepare a statement of cost for single bus and 25 buses. Further, we have to find out the transportation fees per student per month in respect of students traveling up to 2 kilometers from the school, students coming from a distance up to 4 kilometers from the school, and students coming from a distance up to 8 kilometers from the school. Calculate the minimum bus fare that has to be recovered from the students for the year 2020. So there are 3 questions. So let's start with this question. It's a lengthy question. Nancy, I've already erased the solution. Will you just try to I request you to check the recorded lecture. I hope the things will be clear. So let's start with statement of cost for a single bus and 25 buses. So this is example number 7. So since most of the data is given relating to an year, so we'll prepare the statement, for the year. So here in the details of the expenses are given, that is driver salary payable for full 12 months. So 12,000 is the driver salary. So 12,000 into 12, that is 1,44,000 for one bus. So for 25 buses, this will be 36 lakh. Next is conductor salary. Conductor salary is 8,000 per month per conductor. So this will be 96,000. And this will be 24 lakh. License fees and taxes, etc. at 8,400 per bus per annum. So 8,400 per bus per annum. So for 20, this will be 2,10,000. Insurance premium is 15,600 per bus per annum. Repairs and maintenance will be taking this part separately. Now depreciation. The depreciation for the bus will be, see, 20 lakh is the cost. Minus 1,60,000 is the scrap value. Divided by the useful life, that is 16 years. So we'll get the depreciation of a bus. So for 25 bus, it will be. Now diesel cost is a variable cost. That's it. So now this is all what about fixed cost. So now diesel is dependent upon the distance traveled. So we have to first calculate the distance traveled. Very good, Bhaskar. So let's first calculate the distance traveled. So calculation of kilometers. Now see, here and it is given in the question that the one-way distance is approx 8 kilometers. It is given in the question. The distance traveled one way is 8 kilometers. So the bus starts in the morning and they do go for pickup of senior students. Then the bus come back to school and they do drop senior students. I repeat again, guys. The bus starts from school and pick up senior students, and then they do drop the senior students to school. Again, they go out to pick up the junior students and they drop them to school. So this is for the morning. It is given also in the question that see, the bus are garaged in the school. The workload of the students has been so arranged that in the morning, the first trip pick up the senior students and the second trip flying an hour later pick up the junior students. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip takes the junior students and an hour later, the second trip takes the senior students. The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers. So this is all what about morning. And for afternoon, again same. They drop senior students first. Again, the bus comes back to school. Then they drop junior students. And finally, the bus is garaged in school. So this is all what about the routine of a particular bus. So on an average, we can say a bus is traveling for 8 for the 32 into 2, 64 kilometers a day. On an average, the bus travels for 64 kilometers in a day into 22 days in a month. Into 10 months in a year, because it is given in the question that the school work for 22 days in a month and remain closed for vacation in May and June. So it works for 10 months in a year. So 14080 per bus. So now we can easily calculate the diesel cost. So when talking about the diesel cost of one bus, the distance traveled is 14080 divided by, it gives an average of 5 kilometer and the rate is 78.5. So this will be 221056. So if we multiply this by 25, we'll get the total cost. If you guys have any doubts in calculation of kilometer part, you guys can please post your queries. Very good, Mamta. Very good, Mamta. Your answers are correct. But please do check the calculation of the diesel cost. The distance traveled is correct, but yes, the calculation of the diesel cost is incorrect. It is 5 lakh 52, sorry, 55 lakh 26,400. And for one bus, it is 22,000, sorry, 2 lakh 21,056. Anyone having any doubts in the calculation of kilometer, then you guys can please post your queries. Yes, Nancy, Mr. Vijay Raghavan, Shweta, Rupesh, any doubts? Anmol, Ankur, Divya, Mr. Pandi, Gomti, Mahendra, Sushil, Miss Kiran Shukla, any doubts? Please check. The distance traveled is 14,080 and the bus gives an average of 5 kilometer per liter of diesel and the diesel cost is 78.5. So this is how I got the total diesel cost. Yes, anyone having any doubts? Anmol, Mr. Bandi, Shweta, Divya, Rupesh, any doubts? Avinash, Kadambri. So let's proceed further. So now this is all what about running charges. Now next is maintenance charges. It is given repairs and maintenance. The repairs and maintenance cost is given, that is 20,500 per bus per annum. So 20,500 into 25 buses, this will be 5,12,500. So my total cost will be, if you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your queries. Okay, Mamta. So we are done with the preparation of statement wherein we have calculated the total cost for a single bus plus the fleet of 5 buses. Now, herein we have to calculate, the second part is asking find out the transportation fees per student per month. So let's start with the calculation of transportation fees. Now, very important, guys. Can anyone tell me how many students are traveling in a bus? I repeat again. Can anyone tell me एक बस कितने स्टूडेंट्स को केटर करती है? Can anyone tell me? Waiting for your answers, guys. A particular bus is catering how many students? Can anyone tell me? Waiting for your answers, guys. A particular bus is catering how many students? Waiting for your answers. One bus is carrying how many students overall? So I've got answer from Anmol, Avinash, Bhaskar Trivedi, incorrect answer. Anmol, your answer is correct. Avinash, please check your answer. Mamta, please check your answer. Yes, rest everyone, waiting for your answers. A bus is catering how many students? I just want the total number of students. So Bandi, your answer is incorrect. Harish Chandir, just simply tell me that how many students are traveling in a particular bus in both the shifts. Sakshi Jha, incorrect answer. I'm talking about only one bus, Mr. Raghavan. I think your answer is correct. Bhaskar Trivedi, I think you're talking about all the 25 buses. Yes, anyone else waiting for your answer? Okay, Mr. Navneet Krishnan. Sir, 64 kilometers and 10 days. And what is 10? This 10 is months, 22 days and 10 months because for 2 months the school is shut down. Yes, waiting for your answers, guys. See, I've got answer from many students. So see, in simple terms, we can say in the morning, there are two batches. First one is for senior and second one is for junior. So on an average, a bus is catering how many students? 40 junior students and 40 senior students. So a bus is catering on an average 80 students in a day. So total we can say these 25 buses are catering 2,000 students in a day. So very important, guys. A bus is catering to, see, in the morning shift, they pick up senior students. So 40 senior students plus 40 junior students. So total in a particular bus, total 80 students are traveling. And again in the afternoon also, they first drop the senior 40 students, and again they come back to school and then they drop the junior students. So a bus is catering 80 students on an average. That is 40 junior and 40 senior. So let's assume I have also taken one way only, Mr. Raghavan. See, 80 students को वो स्कूल लेके आती है बस, and then 80 students the bus is, I mean these 80 students the bus is dropping back home. So 80 students in a day, they do pick up 80 students and they do drop 80 students, the same 80 students. I repeat again, when talking about the number of students a bus is catering, 40 junior students they do pick up, then 40 senior students they do pick up. So total students the bus do pick up, and in the afternoon they have to drop the same 80 students back home. So a particular bus is for 80 students, 40 students junior, 40 students senior. Now, so let's assume the bus fare for 8 kilometers be X. So distance two kilometer, 4 kilometer, and 8 kilometer. So let's say the fare be for 8 kilometer be X. So for 4 kilometer it will be 0.5x. And for 2 kilometer it will be 0.25x. Let's assume that the fare for students traveling 8 kilometers be X. So for 4 kilometer it will be 0.5x. And for 2 kilometers it will be 0.25x. When talking about the number of students traveling, a bus is catering 80 students. So out of 80, 12 students are traveling up to 15, 12 students are traveling up to 15 kilometers. 12 students are traveling up to 2 kilometers. How come 12? 80 into 12. 80 into 15%. Sorry. 80 into 15%. Again, then next up to 4 kilometers, 30% students are availing this bus service. So 80 into 30%, this will be 24. And 55% students are availing this facility up to 8 kilometers. So 80 into 55%, this will be 44. So what will be the fare total? So the total fare will be how much? 12 into 25x. So total 3x. This will be 12x. And this will be 44x. So total fare will be how much? 3 plus 12 plus 44. So this will be 59x. Now the question is asking us to calculate the monthly fare. So here in the monthly cost is how much? 620,556 divided by 12. 51713. So this 51713 is the total amount to be charged. It should be equal to 59x. This 59x is what? The total fare. That is the fare. Let us assume that the fare be x, and so this 59x is what? The total students into the fare. This should be equal to 51713. So the value of x will be how much? If you guys have any doubts in this calculation, you guys can please post your query. Waiting for your queries, guys. Here, no information is given as regards profit, so we'll be taking the cost only. Again, a very simple approach. We have to calculate the total cost. Sorry, we have to calculate the total fare. So how much will be the total fare? The students into the price, the students into the price, the students into the price. It should be equal to 51713. That is my monthly cost. So when talking about per month, the students who are traveling up to 8 kilometers, I'll be writing this separately. So traveling for 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, and 8 kilometers. For 8 kilometers, we have already calculated the fare, that is 876.5. This will be for 4 kilometers, this will be 876.5 into 0.5. We'll be substituting the value of x. Similarly, 876.5 into 0.25. So we are simply substituting the value of x. This will be 438.25. So yes, Nancy, total number of students catered by one bus is 80. When talking about 80 students, how come 40 senior students and 40 junior students? वो 40 senior students को पहले स्कूल में लेके आते हैं, फिर 40 junior students को स्कूल में लेके आते हैं, फिर वही 40 junior students को ड्रॉप करते हैं घर पे, और फिर वापस 40 senior students को ड्रॉप करते हैं घर पे. So a bus is catering 80 students in a day. That is 40 seniors and 40 juniors. These students are coming to school, and then the bus is dropping back home. So now, when talking about total number of students a bus is catering is 80. So 15% are traveling up to 2 kilometers. So this is how I got 12. Then again, 30% are traveling up to 4 kilometers. So I got 24. And then last, 55% students are traveling up to 8 kilometers. So the number of students into the fare, see, let's assume that the fare be X. So 44 into x will be 44x, 24 into, now for 4 kilometer it will be 50% of x, because it is given that 50% of the full fare will be charged up to 4 kilometer. So this will be 0.5x, and in case of 2 kilometer only 25% of the full fare will be charged. So this is 0.25x. So if this is x, then this will be 0.5x, this will be 0.25x. So this is what the fare per student. If we multiply it by number of students, we will get the total fare. That is 0.25 into 12, 3x, 0.5x into 24, 12x, and x into 44, 44x. So total it will be 59x. And this 59x will be equal to what? My monthly cost, since we have to calculate the monthly fare, not the yearly fare. So this is what my monthly cost divided by, it should be equal to 59x. So this is how I got the value of x, that is 876.5. So this 876.5 is what? For full 8 kilometers. For full 8 kilometers, it will be 876.5x. So for 4 kilometers, it will be 50%. And for 2 kilometers, it will be 25%. Still, if you guys have any doubts, I can repeat the explanation. Waiting for your queries, guys. So when talking about 12, of the 80 students, 15% are traveling up to 2 kilometers. Of 80 students, 30% are traveling up to 4 kilometers. And of 80 students, 55% are traveling up to 8 kilometers. ममता, ये मंथली कॉस्ट कैसे आया? 620,556 is the cost of a bus. This is the yearly cost. And the question is asking us to calculate the fare per month. So what we will do is we will calculate the cost per month divided by 59x. If they are asking for the fare full year, then 620,556 divided by 59. So I request you guys to please copy this explanation, giving you 2 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes time. Please copy this explanation. Yes, Nisha, this is the minimum bus fare. So this question is similar to illustration number 4 of the study material. One of the student raised a query that, sir, please explain the working note of illustration. Guys, in illustration number 4, there are only two options available, that is up to 4 kilometer and more than 4 kilometer. So herein there are three distance available, three options available: 2 kilometer, 4 kilometer, and 8 kilometer. So after solving this question, you can easily solve illustration number 4. I'll be considering this part. This is the next question, Manohar. We'll surely try to, Mamta. I request you guys to please copy the solution. The same question is not available in the study material. So please do copy the solution. This is the next part, Nisha Kumari. I'll be discussing now. Don't worry. So now, herein, the last question is calculate the minimum bus fare that has to be recovered from the students for the year 2020. So they are talking about the lockdown part. So let's start. See here in this question, it is given in the information is given as due to a pandemic, the lockdown was imposed on schools and the schools remain closed from April 2020 to December 2020. Drivers and conductors were paid 75% of their salary during the lockdown period. Repairing cost reduced to 75% for the year. So let's start with the statement of the cost. The last part for since we have to calculate only the fare, So no need to prepare the statement for 25 buses. So let's start. So there will be a change in driver salary and conductor salary. See here, and it is given in the question that the driver salary is 12,000 per month. However, for the lockdown period, they were paid only 75%. So April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So for 9 months, they were paid 75% of their total salary. So herein their salary is 12,000 into 75% into 10 months plus 12,000 into 2. See, for the 10 months, that is from, sorry, I think it is 9 months. Wait a minute. So for 9 months, the driver and conductor were paid only 75% of their salary. So for the remaining months, that is for the remaining 3 months, they are paid full salary. So 12,000 into 3. Similarly, for conductor, also the same approach. So the conductor salary is 8,000 per month into 75% for 9 months plus 8,000 into 3. So 12,000 into 75% into 9 months and 12,000 into 3. So this will be 1,17,000. Similarly, 8,000 into 75% into 9 months plus 8,000 into 3. So this will be 78,000. Yes, Mr. Vijay. So rest all the calculation will be the same. That is, all the fixed costs will remain unchanged. So this will be 1,17,000 plus 78,000 plus 8,400 plus 15,600 and 1,15,000. So this will be 3,34,000. When talking about the running cost, we'll be taking the diesel cost only. So when talking about the calculation of kilometer part, as already discussed, a bus travels for 32 kilometers in the morning and 32 kilometers in the afternoon. So on an average, a bus travels for 64 kilometers in a day into 22 days in a month into the bus was operating only for 3 months, that is Jan, Feb and March. So 64 into 22 into 3. So this will be 4,224 kilometers. So the diesel cost will be 4,224 divided by The bus gives an average of 5 kilometers, and it is 78.5. Now, next is the maintenance cost. So repairs and maintenance cost, it is given in the question, it will be reduced to 75%. So my repair cost is 20,500 per bus per annum. It is given that it is reduced to 75%, not by 75%. So into 75%. So this will be, so this is how I'll get the total cost. That is 3,34,000. Four one five six nine two. So if we divide it by 12, we'll get the monthly cost. This will be 415,692 divided by 12. So this will be 34641. Now herein also we have to calculate the fare with the same approach. So let's assume that the full fare be X for distance up to 4 kilometers, it will be 0.5x. And for distance up to 2 kilometers, it will be 20.25x. And we have got the number of students also. So herein, we can say total 80 students. So 80 into 55%. So 44 students, they will be charging X fare. Next will be 12x as calculated. And next will be 3x. This should be equal to 34641. So the value of x will be 587. So for 8 kilometers, it will be 587. For 4 kilometers, it will be 50% of 587. So this will be 293.5. And for 2 kilometers, this will be 146.75. That is 587 into 25%. So it's a lengthy question. The question is from RTP May 2021. Thank you, Mr. Vijay. So this question is from RTP May 2021. If you guys have any doubts or queries relating to this question, you guys can please post your query, giving you 3 to 4 minutes time to copy the explanation. Yes, Mamta. The same question is there in RTP May 2021. Anyone else having any doubts or queries can please post your queries. Yash, Shweta, Vijay, Raghavan, Bhaskar, Mamta, Nancy, Kadambri, Avinash, Ankush, Nisha, Sakshi, Kiran, Divya. Anyone having any doubts? I'm done with this question. This question is a bit on the trickier side and it's a lengthy question. So if you guys have any doubts, you guys can please post your queries. Sushil Kumar, any doubts? Gomti, Mahendra, Divya, Vaibhav Sharma, any doubts? Now you guys will be able to solve illustration number 4 of study material because many students are finding this question bit difficult, the working note part. So now you can easily solve this question, this question of study material, that is illustration number 4. Yes, Mr. Raghavan, the practice is the only solution. Thank you so much, Mr. Bundy. We'll surely try to, Mamta. Thank you so much. So, guys, that's it for the day. It's already 9:26. I won't be able to finish one more question. So, better start. There is one more session for service costing. So, we'll be discussing the remaining questions in the next session. So, yes, more examiner do ask theory questions also, mostly from chapter number 1 and few more chapters. So I'll be discussing this part also. I mean, how to prepare for exams specifically for costing. So thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience. I request you guys to solve all the questions from study material and past practice manual. If you guys have RTP, or I request you guys to download RTP, MTP from ICAI website. It is available. So I request you guys to solve all the questions of these materials. I mean, the question relating to transportation industry. I'm done with the explanation of transportation industry, and I tried my level best to cover each and every point in detail relating to transportation industry. So do practice. Practice is the key. Again, ऐसा मत सोचिए कि सब ticking से हो जाएगा. See, you will start facing problems while writing the solution. So better to fix it up so that exams में वापस वो problem नहीं आए. So start solving questions in writing. See, this is a very lengthy question. It should be finished in max to max 15 minutes. So practice is the key. If you practice hard, I mean, if you practice more, then you can easily, I mean, you'll be able to solve this question easily in 15 minutes. So practice is the key. So do solve all the questions. Let's meet day after tomorrow with the remaining part of the chapter, that is service costing. Thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. God bless you guys. Thank you.